Hey, it's Jude, and I recently graduated high school and I got all my stuff back, and I wanted to share with you my 2D AP art portfolio because that's the only art class I took this year. Usually I take like more than one, but I wanted to like kind of focus on my portfolio during the year because it was my grad year, and also I didn't send it away like most people do when they make AP portfolios. They usually send it away to get like a score, like you see in like AP art videos. They have like the top score or whatever score they got in the title of their video. But I didn't send it away for me personally because for one thing, for me, I think, I don't know if it's just me or it's just my school, but like it costs a lot of money to like send away a portfolio, and during the time as I was making it, I wasn't like fully confident in what I was making, and I didn't want to like waste money or like send something away that I wasn't like 100% sure about, so I decided not to. And from my teacher, he like marked it, and I got a 4, which I'm really happy with. I wasn't expecting to get a 4, to be honest. I thought I was gonna get like a 3. I was really scared I was gonna get like a 2 or something, but I got a 4, and I know why I got a 4, and I'll explain that a bit after. And yeah, let's get started. Let's start with the first part, the concentration. My concentration is in a very specific order because it's supposed to tell a story, and my story is based upon Filipino mythology. So when I was making this concentration, I wasn't sure what I wanted to do, so I decided on Filipino mythology because it's part of like my own personal culture, and I thought it'd be like nice to learn about, considering I don't know much about my own culture. Like I like eat food and celebrate certain Filipino holidays, but like I don't know much history-wise or mythology-wise, and I thought it would be a unique topic since people usually do like Greek mythology and that kind of stuff, but I wanted to do something different in case I was going to send it away, but later I didn't. So I'm still very happy because I thought it was a sort of unique kind of topic. But yeah, let's start. At first I was going to focus on multiple stories or multiple gods and goddesses of the Philippines, but I decided to focus on one story, which is the story of the sun and moon. It's the one that focuses on the brother and sister Mayari and Apolaki and how the sun and moon kind of were created. So, quick story time. I'll tell you the story about the sun and moon before we get into it so it makes more sense. There are these two siblings who are the son and daughter of the god of creation, and one day their father passes away, and the father used to be the ruler of like the world because he was the god of creation, and during the creation of the world it was always daytime because there was only one person ruling. And so when the father passes away, these two siblings are left, Mayari and Apolaki, and they're like, so who's going to overtake the throne now? And then they began to argue about it because the sister wanted to rule together while the brother wanted to like rule the world for himself, and they began to like lose their close relationship that they had, and then they began to fight, and I showed the process of that through my concentration and kind of the story. And so they fight, and then they fight with these bamboo sticks, and the brother ends up stabbing the sister in the eye, which causes her to like not have like as much power, I guess. I'll put a link that better explains the story down below. But yeah, so when she loses like her sight in one eye, that explains why the moon is dimmer than the sun, because the brother, the god of the sun, has both eyes and he's like more brighter, while the sister has one eye, and so her moonlight is like dimmer. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. When I was making these paintings, I wanted to kind of illustrate them as if it was going to be like a storybook or like a children's storybook. It probably wouldn't be a children's storybook considering how violent the story is, but you know. Here's the first piece. I'm not as proud as the first piece as I am with the other ones. I kind of made it out of order because I kept getting different ideas for each piece, so I kind of went back and forth from like piece 1 to piece 6 or 7, and yeah. So this is just kind of to show the closeness of their relationship as children. I wanted to like kind of show like how they were like goddesses and gods, like by like having like the clouds and stuff, like how you know in like Disney's Hercules they were always like living up in the clouds and stuff. So I kind of thought I'd use that kind of imagery in my own paintings as well. And here's the second one, kind of showing how the world was only covered in like daylight because of how this is like before they fought, so the world is just in complete daylight right now. So this is Apolaki, the god of the sun, and I just kind of wanted to like present them and like kind of show and give them an idea of like what they look like and who they are. And this is the sister Mayari, the goddess of the moon. Put this behind it, but yeah. I'm really happy with the piece 3 and 4 just because of like the way the colors turned out. I had a lot of trouble with this one. I'm actually not happy with the bottom part. Like if you cover the bottom part it looks fine. They're supposed to be like in the sky and kind of looking down on their like deceased father who's like recently died, but he just looks like a blob, and I'm really upset that I couldn't really like fix that in time and like shape it more. I should have done more. Like I tried my best to add like shadows and stuff, but he just looks like this really tiny blob. Like you can tell it's a person, but I don't know, I'm just not very happy with it, to be honest. But I think this part is good. Just ignore that and like it's fine, I guess. So here's the 6th piece. So this is starting to like show the beginnings of like their conflict and how they're starting to argue over like who's going to rule the day or like the world in general. So yeah, I'm so awkward, I'm sorry. So the 7th piece is kind of like their preparation, like before they're fighting. Some of these are matted because they were in my school art show while others weren't, because I was still trying to like finish them in time, which kind of sucks. But yeah, this is just kind of showing they're like starting the beginnings of like their like actual like physical fight and how they're like bringing out like the bamboo sticks that will later like injure her and cause her blindness. I'm not very good at explaining my artwork. This is the 8th piece so far. I don't know if you guys have been counting. I haven't really. I've just been looking at the numbers, but this piece kind of shows like actually what's going on, and this is when she like gets stabbed in the eye, which is like kind of like the climax point in the story. I wanted it to be very vibrant and colorful. I really like the color palette, and I wanted it to be colorful because, as I said previously, I wanted it to give the impression that this was going to be like an illustrated book for like maybe children or young adults, maybe not children, because you know this is the next piece and that's not very, I don't think children want to see that. But you know, this is kind of like the aftermath, and now there's like this bamboo stick in her eye. I really like how her hair turned out and the face itself. The style is like a bit different from the other facial styles that I've done in like the previous pieces of this concentration, but at the same time it still looks pretty consistent, so I was really happy with that. After he stabs her in the eye, he kind of realizes his action. He's like, oh frick, I'm sorry, and then he apologizes to her. So I just wanted to like show that scene where they're like kind of making up at that point, and yeah, what better way to show it than through a hug? I don't know. I didn't know how to like depict an apology other than that kind of like hug moment, because usually when people that are really close to each other, they have an argument, it's like they kind of like embrace each other after all that time of conflict, I guess. This is the piece that goes before the final one that shows like how she's now comfortable with herself and the fact that she's lost an eye, but it kind of gives her her own sense of like self, because because she lost her eye, she's like has a dimmer light and she's able to be moonlight. You know what I mean? Yeah, so this is kind of like, I'm really happy with how this piece turned out, especially like the white details. This is acrylic, and all the gold pieces in these paintings are gold acrylic paint, and the rest is all watercolor. But yeah, I'm really happy with how this one turned out. This is the final piece. It's kind of like, see the background is kind of going from daylight to moonlight, just kind of to show their relationship. So it's kind of like descending into like the different colors. And yeah, this is supposed to be the sun, and if you can't see, there's the moon down here. And this is like the end piece, kind of to show how they're both kind of like things are like better and at peace now. That was my concentration, and my teacher said that he liked it and he would like the consistency of it. And when he was like commenting on my AP portfolio, he was commenting more on the breadth portion in terms of critiques. He was like happy with, well, not necessarily happy, he was like impressed or something. Either way, he thought it was good. Let's just put it at that. He thought it was good, like the concentration portion. Where I needed to be stronger was my breadth portion, and we'll look at that. Yeah, I worked on this one all night. I did it literally the day before I was about to hand in my breadth piece, because I wanted to add more variety in my breadth, and I wanted something that I thought would be at the same time show like my capabilities but also like be diverse, you know. So I did this kind of like mixed media piece. It's at first the sketch here, the sketch was done in colored pencil, and then I overlaid like magazine bits on it, and it says losing myself, and it's on cardstock paper, and then I just put a mat on it. This piece is supposed to represent like disassociation, if you can't tell from like the way I like arranged like the pieces of the magazine. But this was a class assignment, and it's titled Me, Myself, and I. And yeah, you have to pick 3 emotions and then draw it. I decided to just pick like a process of an emotion, so I chose the process of laughter, because I didn't want to do like something like angsty, like draw myself looking sad or something, because I don't know, that wasn't me, and I found that laughter came easiest to me, and I was more comfortable taking reference pictures of myself laughing. The next piece is titled Trauma, because I was listening to Trauma by 17 while drawing this, and so I decided to like show like kind of like what a person stuck in trauma would like be like, kind of like their mindset, like, so they're in like this very dark place. This is done in ink and graphite, like, and it's kind of got like these strings to show like they're kind of like stuck where they are. The assignment at first was to just draw a face on a sticky note, and I took it like a step further and used it for my breadth piece. This one is called Watched and Watcher. It's a prompt piece. It was for art class as well, and I wanted to show the relationships between like the hunter and like the hunted, and like kind of like the predator-prey relationship between animals and people. The thing I really like about this piece is the fact that it's like layered. I don't know if you can tell, but can you see that? Like this piece is layered on top of the background, like the forest. Like these 2 people are like cut out with a X-Acto knife, and then I put like those puffy stickers to like make it like a bit more 3D. The next piece is a pen sketch, And I titled it No Erase because I didn't do any erasing on it at all, because this was done completely in pen from start to finish. And then I filled in the hoodie portion with ink. This piece was inspired by a bunch of articles I read about women in the workplace, and a lot of them were talking about how Donald Trump treated women and dismissed women as fat pigs and dogs, as stated in this magazine clipping. So I took the articles and clipped out little phrases from them and put them on the back of this woman's jacket, just to kind of represent I guess I wanted to give a girl gang kind of feel in this piece. So if you can see, and so this is called Denim Feminism. I think that's what I titled it when I was handing it in to a school. But on the title theme here it says Defiance, because I also use this as the Defiance Prompt assignment. I handed this in as Defiance for one of my assignment prompt things, because I wanted to show that I could do a variety of things, not just people in illustrative work. So I made this little 11 by 8.5 by 11 piece. It's oil pastel, and it's just yeah, it's just what it is. It's this silk shirt, and I just wanted to try to get as many details of the wrinkles that I could, and I think it's okay. I could probably work on the lighting a bit more within the inner creases and corners of the shirt itself, but I think for the time that I was making it, it wasn't that bad. And this, I didn't want the subject to be people again, so I decided to do a cow, because I had a lot of brown and kind of cream colored magazine clippings that I thought would fit the color palette of a cow. Kind of looks like a bull, not a cow, but my reference point was a cow. So this is another Inktober piece. It's just a study of a skull, and it's done all in pen. This was the assignment one. We started by doing contour line drawings of instruments, and then we translated that onto a canvas, and then we had to kind of paint and fill in the instrument line drawing, the painting. We had to fill in the line drawing, and then that we did on the canvas in an interesting sort of way that was sort of abstract. And this was a bit of a challenge for me personally, because I don't really do a lot of abstract looking work. This last piece is the one that I wasn't happy with. My art teacher too, he said that it didn't look finished, and now that I'm looking at it, I can tell what he's talking about. And it's this one, and it was supposed to just kind of present feelings of loneliness. I made this when I was kind of lonely, and this was grade 11 or something. Yeah, I made this during grade 11 and I never finished it. I was working on it, but I never really finished it, and then I was running out of time, so I took it and I decided to maybe if I paint this enough, I can hand it in. And I did hand it in, but it's not really that great. Let me know if you want me to make a video on portfolio advice and how to order your pieces and stuff, because I learned a lot through making this, and I thought it'd be nice to share some of the things I learned. So yeah, I'll make a video on that. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace!